Alright, hello everyone and welcome to the stream. Today's gameplay stream for Friday, December 11th, 2015 is going to be Yakuza 5. So hello and welcome and thank you for joining me. I appreciate it. Tonight's second stream is kind of up in the air. It's dependent on what happens with the voting, and I have not even checked on the voting. I guess I should. It looks like as of right now, it's about 60-40 in favor of Rise of the Tomb Raider tonight, which I'm okay with. I played it earlier in the week and thought that it was decent. It wasn't anything, again, amazing, blow you away, great, but it was fun. And so I'll play some more of that tonight, as long as the poll doesn't massively flip-flop. I don't foresee that happening. And then tomorrow will be Fallout 4 for those who are craving it. So there you go. It's good. It's a good mix this week of different stuff, different games going on. And I know that for a lot of people, this is kind of like, maybe you're only interested in one of the games. Certainly this is not like big game time for many people. This is kind of the lull now because we just had 2 non-stop months of new games, some of which were great and some of which were kind of disappointing. And now we've got pretty much the lull until after Christmas, when I'll be doing some fan appreciation multiplayer and the year-end series will begin. And then, of course, 2016, when we've got actually this year, after a pretty slow January, February, March, and April look to be incredibly busy with new game releases. And I talked about this actually last night on my podcast, which is maybe the last podcast I ever do, depending on how my new changes go into effect next year. We'll have to see. But yeah, I put out a new podcast last night over on the King of Hate Vlogs channel here on YouTube, so check that out. I talked about so much different stuff. I mean, I talked about the changes coming to my content. I talked about the fact that I've played so many games in the past few months, but I've been too busy to review them, so I kind of ran through them all and gave my opinion on them. I talked about all the new releases coming out in the first quarter of 2016 and what I'm planning on playing and what I'm interested in. I talked about the Game Awards. I talked about the PlayStation Experience. And then there was a fun back in the day segment where I talked about Christmas time and decorating Christmas trees and stuff like that. So, a pretty lengthy, pretty hefty Hate Live podcast last night. So far, over 2,500 people have watched and have told me that they enjoyed the show, so that's great. It's a good feeling. I hope that you will give it a shot, and take a look at, the show and see if you like it. Because traditionally, people really seem to like the podcasts. They do. They really enjoy them. They say that, the podcast is something that I do every once in a while. Not all the time, but that it actually is something that they enjoy very much. I screwed up the way that I did the podcast. It's not a big deal. But the way that it works is there's 2 ways to do streaming on YouTube. And I accidentally did the new way for the podcast. But what that means is that all the views on the stream aren't even going to count towards the show. So traditionally I get between 10 and 15,000 views on the podcast, and I looked at it last night and I'm like, that seems a little low. And I realized all the people, the hundreds, there was over 300 some people watching live, none of those views are going to count towards it because I did it in the different method of streaming. And I was like, damn it, I screwed up. I haven't done the old method of streaming in months, since the last time I actually did the old method of streaming was the last Hate Live podcast in October. And so don't worry about it if you're looking at like, gee, that was a great podcast, but it looks like there's less people who checked it out. It's not true. It's just that the views from the stream didn't count towards it, but it doesn't really matter. It's not that big of a deal. Seriously, 2,000 views or whatever that would have come from the streaming is like nothing, Not a big deal, but thank you, everyone, for watching. Thank you. I hope you enjoyed that podcast. So what's going on with me for the next several days? Here, let me outline it for everyone here who's on the pre-stream. First of all, right now we're going to be doing Yakuza 5 for around 3 hours here on stream. And it'll be my 3rd session, although it's really only the 2nd day I'm playing the game. And the first session that I did really got through the introductory stuff. And the second session that I did back on Wednesday was actually more side content, going around the city with Kazuma and doing all of the side content in the city, which was very varied. There were races, there was kidnapping, combat, ramen making, all kinds of stuff. So at this point, I think we're going to advance the story in today's stream and see how far we can get with Kazuma. All right. And then tonight I'm going to be playing more Rise of the Tomb Raider. And that should be interesting. Again, advancing that story and seeing where that game goes, even though I'll be honest, is it amazing? Does it blow me away? No, but it's certainly not a bad game either. It's kind of a game that if you like the Tomb Raider from 2 years ago, you're going to love it. But understand it's more of the same. So I'm okay with playing that maybe once or twice a week just to keep it going. Tomorrow, Fallout 4 will resume. So a big session of Fallout 4 tomorrow on the stream. Hope you'll join me for that. At this point, we're trying to finish up all of the side content of the game before we move on to the 4 major plotline endings. And I think I'm in the middle of a quest for the Brotherhood. And it's not that this is to end the game with them, but it actually sets up the end of the game. So I need to do a few more Brotherhood missions, and then there's a few more unique side content missions according to the strategy guide that I've looked up. I want to get things like the Alien Blaster and stuff like that, and then we'll move on to some of the endings, and then I'm going to go through the game and do the multiple different faction endings. So another week or two of Fallout 4, and then it's going to end. Okay. And then that's going to be balanced with other stuff. So, for example, this coming Sunday, I'm probably going to do more Yakuza. We'll see, but I'll, playing it by ear. I'm either going to do more Yakuza or I'm going to do WWE this Sunday. I have to decide which I want to do for myself. So I'll make that executive decision and let everyone know what I'll be doing on Sunday. There's going to be a new episode of Ask the King tomorrow. On Sunday, there'll be a new weekend preview. In addition to that, I'll be working on patron stuff. So patrons for the month of November have been messaging me all week with their information. Sunday night, I'm going to action all of that, whether it means I'm going to be doing forum upgrades, private Q&A videos, mailing out t-shirts, all that's going to be done Sunday night, okay? And then Monday into this next week, we're going to be starting to move into the final week of kind of nonstop gameplay, and what I mean by that is every day I'll be either doing Fallout or Yakuza or, WWE or whatever. And listen, I'm not blind. I know that at this point, things are very much winding down for the year. This is exactly what happened last year. This is literally exactly what happened in December of last year, okay? I was doing ongoing playthroughs, and it wasn't necessarily, giant new releases. It was games that I've already been playing for several weeks, like Fallout or WWE, etc. And the interest waned in the month of December. And I understand that. People are getting caught up with their own holiday stuff, and there's finals in school. So I just want to let everyone know, even though you may be joining the streams daily and you say, man, not a lot of people on the stream today, that's okay. That's perfectly fine. There's nothing really too insanely exciting going on. You know what I mean? Come 2016, when there's new releases coming out, I'm sure there's going to be people coming back. Just like throughout the whole fall, people were coming to check out all the new releases. And now that the waves and waves of new releases are done, now there's going to be kind of a deader time, all right? So just expect that. It's to be expected. It's no surprise to me. So, what else, everyone? Not too much. This morning, Leanna and I actually went out to get breakfast for the first time in a long time. We never go out to breakfast, quite honestly. We don't, because there's really nothing around here. There's nowhere to really go get breakfast. And so we have to go out of our way. And this morning, it just so happens, we haven't gone out to breakfast since August. And before then, we didn't go out to breakfast at all this year. So I woke up this morning, I was hungry, and I was like, man, I'm really hungry. I don't feel like a bowl of cereal. I've been having a bowl of cereal recently. And I'm like, man, I'm craving a breakfast. So Leanna and I got up. We said, you know what? Let's go out just for the heck of it. We don't do this often. It's not like it's expensive and we're splurging all the time. Let's go. So we went out. We went to IHOP, and I ended up getting two pancakes with like a couple slices of bacon and eggs and hash browns, and she ended up getting a bacon omelet. And it's IHOP, so you know what to expect. So the food's hit or miss, the service is hit or miss. We ordered this, and our first of all, we ordered orange juices. The orange juices didn't come out until the food was ready, so I don't understand why they couldn't bring us drinks before then. But the food comes out, and we basically she got her omelet, which looked great and tasted great, by the way. I get my food, but I only get my hash browns, my bacon, my eggs. And both of us are looking like, where are our pancakes? We're both supposed to have pancakes. And the girl goes, I'll check on them. I think they're coming out soon. So we eat. We literally finish our plates. So we're talking 15 minutes later, probably. We're done. We're pretty much completely full at this point because we ate everything because we're hungry. Oh, here come the pancakes. It's like, all right, well, whatever. And then behind us, there was a giant table of like maybe 10 people. Half their orders, I guess, were wrong. They were all pissed off. One of them was like, this isn't what I ordered. Another one's like, these hash browns aren't even cooked. And they're like, we want more syrup. You only give us like 2 things of syrup for 10 people. So they're all going wild. It's funny because it wasn't like it was busy or anything, but that's typically what I expect from IHOP. Like, I don't expect the top of the world of service, and I also don't expect like food that's gonna blow you away. But it was something different. It was something that is outside of what we would normally do, just because we were like, man, we were really craving some kind of breakfast, and now we probably won't go out again until like April for my birthday. More honestly, really, like that's how breakfast is for us. Usually, we just get up, we roll out of bed, we're usually groggy. Go down, have a coffee or whatever. Maybe have a bowl of cereal. See what the hamsters are doing. Do a couple chores around the house in the morning. Relax a tiny bit before I get ready for work. So, it was interesting. Something different. What else? Nothing much else. FYI, a lot of stuff will be updated shortly. I'll have the new goal for December for Patreon set up soon. Yes, it is going to be another Rockathon with some twists to it. A little bit different than the last Rockathon, and I'll explain that shortly. I'm not going to go too much into detail. I talked about it on the podcast last night, if you actually want to know about it. And really, the only other thing to talk about, and then I'll get started here with gameplay, is, Christmas right around the corner. And Leanna has her own business here where she sells glycerin handmade soaps and wax tart melts. And if you want to check it out at etsy.com/shop/theblackcurrant. She's got a ton of orders that came in the past week. All Christmas presents for people. People all looking and saying, "Oh man, we gotta buy Christmas presents. It's almost Christmas. The deadline's coming. It's 2 weeks till Christmas as of today, everybody. Just so you know." And a lot of people might be like, "Holy shit, really? Yeah, 2 weeks until Christmas." And there's plenty of time to order if you want to, place an order at the Black Currant for your friends, your family, anyone, significant other. It's a cool, different thing you can do. Rather than just getting candy or some kind of junk, get something practical. Everyone needs to wash, and everyone wants their house to smell good, right? If you use this discount code CELEBRATE100, CELEBRATE100, you'll save 10% on any order of $20 or more between now and the end of the year. So you have to place your order soon. If you don't place it by the end of the year, you won't get that discount. Okay? All right, that's really it. Quick one. Quick pre-stream today. I can't speak. Not much else to talk about. Thank you for being here. Let's get started with more Yakuza 5. Hope you'll enjoy the stream, and let's get the show on the road. Here we go.